Thanks for watching. My name is James Robertson with Workspace Real Estate, and today we're going to talk about the Andrew Yang climate change proposal. And I was just reading some of the news, and I do that in the morning to kind of see where the market is and how things are going to change or potentially change here in Houston. And I'm noticing a trend with looking at political leaders and the rhetoric that's been thrown around consistently. What I'm not going to do today is try to talk about political bias or try to convince you to go one way or another for a candidate or a party. That's not my business to do. I'm in commercial real estate. I'm interested in how these proposals and facts will potentially affect us in Houston as citizens of this city and as business owners here, and how this affects some of my clients and I'm sure your lives as well. This is something that's really broad reaching. So let's get into it. Now, as far as Andrew Yang, I can help by saying his name correctly. As far as Andrew Yang's policy proposal, he has 5 points that he put out today. Now let's go through point one, and I just want to share some of my thoughts and try to bring as many facts as possible. Build a sustainable economy by transitioning away from fossil fuels to renewable energy. Now, on that point alone, we're talking about the destruction of the Houston market. Total destruction. Half the commercial spaces that we see available now would be vacant, literally vacant. The energy corridor is all energy. I mean, 70 to 80% of that market for office and industrial space will be gone. Thousands and thousands of small businesses here in Houston would literally cease to exist, just shut down. The service companies that do the accounting, the HR, the staffing for these companies, it's not just Exxon or Chevron or Shell. We're talking about a huge swath of the Houston market that's going to be affected by this. But the United States just became the number one exporter of natural gas, oils here in the world. That's been great for Houston. It's been great for our economy. So that's a concern to me. Later on in point one, he goes on to say that public financing options will allow individuals to make the right decisions for their families. I don't know what that means. The best decisions that we in Houston can make as Houstonians is to participate in this economy and utilize our skill sets to meet the demands of the market. This goes back to another point when we talk about the Green New Deal that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez pushed not too long ago. And I think that's extremely relevant here as well, because we're seeing not the specifics on how they want these things enacted. What we're seeing is an end goal. And in that end goal is the elimination of entire industries. So without being political and just asking an honest question, what happens to the country, the city, the people that work these jobs? Is that why Wall Street and other investors and banks are kind of downgrading the prospects of Houston as far as our markets here? Is that why people are stating their concern about office buildings here and industrial not being sustainable? Is that why our projections for the next few years are flat? We have very little construction that's being planned in the future. I'm trying to read the tea leaves here, and I'm getting the sense that on a macro level that we are planning on moving past energy. In Greens Point right now, we're seeing a third of that market has vacant buildings, a third of it. The reports aren't speaking to that because a lot of owners are hiding these numbers. The people that count the numbers analytically, they get this information based on what the building owners report to them. And a lot of investors don't want their buildings to be advertised as being empty or mostly empty. So they're either falsifying or presenting puffed up numbers. So the numbers that CoStar is getting are not entirely accurate. Things are worse off in markets like Greens Point than they're being advertised. What happens when these industries get decimated? Maybe in another vlog, I'll talk about the insurance industry because that's equally concerning. So Greens Point, we have some red flags there. This would be really bad for them. The Woodlands, a lot of energy there. Energy corridor, obviously. I can't think of a market in Houston that's not going to be seriously affected. Midtown is one of the only exceptions, but it's a tiny market. Downtown Houston, Wow, it's 50 million square feet of office space there. And I just can't think about what would happen if you have these companies that are just kind of ushered out. And the scary thing is, it's not because the demand's not there. We're literally trying to change the economy forcibly. People need these resources. People are willing to pay for these resources. So my message to Mr. Yang and for anyone that would be his supporters, as just a person in Houston that is looking at this proposal, I think it would be intellectually honest to share with the people when you talk about these ideas what would be the effect to the city or cities. So in the future, as I see different topics that affect the Houston market specifically, I'm going to bring them up because the purpose of these videos is to educate you as someone in Houston, as a business owner in the marketplace. It's not to portray my political views. Who am I? My opinion does not matter. I think the facts matter. And I think that the things that I'm seeing in the marketplace that affect you matter. So I hope that you pull what's useful to you from these discussions. And please feel free to disregard anything that's just my opinion, because if it's not backed up by facts, it's just an opinion. So thank you for listening to this discussion. Please comment if you like what you heard. Please like and share. And I'm looking forward to talking to you soon.